Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Emily.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Adriana.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today, we are officially starting our 10-week journey through Heat of the Everflame, the third book in the Kindred's Curse saga. And just a reminder how we do this as we go through a couple chapters, and we'll do one chapter at a time and then discuss it, and then another chapter and then discuss it. And today we are reviewing chapters 1 through 7. So if you haven't read the entire series, don't listen, even if you've read those 7 chapters.
We will ruin it. Everything.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thoughts after all, so we are going to be using adult language talking about adult topics. So please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all 3 current books. Each episode, we will focus on specific chapters, but our conversation will include the entire series. So if you haven't read it, today's episode is not for you. Lastly, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. We, but definitely these two are going to at least mispronounce a name or place.
I did listen to a little bit of audiobook to just try and get some of the names in my head instead of how I say them on the page. But
Did it work?
I don't think so. Yeah, I continue to say Sarai every time I read. Wait, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, maybe it is working.
I think you normally say Sarai when you're doing your recap.
Sarai.
Yeah.
All right, Jenna will be leading the episode doing chapters 1 through 7. So strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl. Strip it. Strip.
Oh. Okay, we're going to start off with the dedication because that's what we do. For all of those caught in the flames, remember that the hottest fires forge the strongest swords.
I was trying to think, could that be taken sexually?
Probably.
Of course.
Most likely.
The hottest
anything.
fires forge the strongest swords.
Would that be like the... never mind.
No, even if I cut it out, I want to hear your thoughts.
I was going to say, would the forge be like the mother's womb?
Oh,
And then it would be like growing the boy. It was too much.
Mine's worse. I
Okay.
thought the hottest fire would be like, well, one, it's yourself, but it's
Mhm.
also, what do they call it?
Passion?
Their female part. What do they call it in
the
books?
mound or
The mound or
the
whatever.
sex.
And then
sex.
the sex, and then the strongest swords would be like how you're working it with him. So that's how you forge a strong sword. Because size doesn't matter
No.
unless it's too small or too
it's
big.
how
Or
you
it's
use
two
it.
crossing swords.
What?
Unless it's not the right size.
Did you say crossing swords?
Or it's 2 crossing swords.
Oh, yeah, because we're inclusive here. It could be crossing swords or several mounds. I don't want to judge.
No, we're definitely not judging. It's whatever sword you prefer.
All right, take it away, Jenna.
Chapter 1. The darkness Diem was left with at the end of Glow gives way to her drowning. She's gaining consciousness, but she's drowning. Then someone speaks, commanding her to swallow, and she'll be able to breathe. Diem opens her eyes and swallows and is allowed to breathe, only to be met with more liquid being forced down her throat. There's something off about the drink, though. Something familiar about the taste. Flame root. Fuck. And then it happens. Someone mentions that they've been instructed how much to mix in the drink by Arlie.
God damn it.
Right? Everything.
Fuck. Sorry. I just keep reading that because it's like, yeah, the minute she's coming out of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
I'm
then
just
the first
interrupting.
thing
I'm not
she
trying
says, ugh, or she hears.
Yeah.
Everything about what just transpired comes crashing back to Diem. Godstone splitting. Imposter queen. Arlie yelling for her to run. Being threatened with Godstone, Diem is released and starts taking in her surroundings. Realizing she's not on Kareel or the island anymore, and everyone surrounding her, most holding Four Toes End blades, but others holding more Godstone, are mortal. The woman who's speaking, threatening her, finally introduces herself as the leader of the group, Cordelia. Yeah?
to.
Okay. Cordelia.
I mean, good
When
one.
Diem introduces herself again, she asks for Arlie. Cordelia reveals she knows that it's her mother, but she is insistent she's unavailable. Diem and Cordelia gain a little bit to bond over the fact that Arlie hid Diem's descended ancestry from them both. Diem taunts the group a bit as she's chained and shackled, mockingly using the term brother and the secret code she learned in Lumos. Blessed is the Everflame. But instead of receiving the reply, Amarian soil we shall reclaim, she's shackled and shoved down. Cordelia is there to help her up, although there is no trust between the two women yet. Cordelia asks Diem about her involvement with the Guardians, and Diem reveals that before she gained her crown, she was a member of the Lumnos cell. However, truthfully, she says that once the crown appeared, their relationship became strained. At the mention of the Lumos cell, Slimy Vance shows his face, claiming that Diem is no friend of the Guardian. Diem clips that she was certainly thought of as a friend when she assisted them getting to the royal boat. But Vance was playing her then and reveals how he knew what he was doing when he calls her out, saying she wasn't showing loyalty to the Guardians by doing that, only trying to win back the love of her betrothed. Gag. Cordelia is paying close attention to the words being exchanged, though, and doesn't let Vance slip away without making sure they know she's noticed he withheld that Diem assisted with the attack. At the mention of the attack, Diem kind of snaps. She needs to know what transpired on that island. Andre's training coming in clutch when she notices the tension between Vance and Cordelia. She plays into the frustration she personally experienced at the end of Vance's need for control and lack of respect for women. Honestly, it works perfectly. That man is the reason for his own demise. The wedge Diem meant to drive between the two leaders hits its mark, and Vance gets knocked from father to brother real quick. Cordelia, while putting Vance in his place, is the first to reveal to Diem that Arlie is, brace yourselves, leader of the Guardians.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh.
Shocker.
Didn't know.
Right.
But she has been for nearly a fucking decade also, by the way. Just like as long as she's been forcing flame root down her descended child's throat. Finding out this information sends Diem into a spiral. All of the ways she knew her mother flashed through her mind, but now tainted by the secret way she was living her life and the one she allowed her daughter to see. Who knew? Her father? Teller? Luther? Luther! Diem pressed harder to know who was wounded. Cordelia takes pity on her and tells her Arlie survived. Great, but that's not really what I meant. What about the descended man with the scar? Her Luther? What was Luther to her? Mate, bitch. He's your mate. Anyway, Cordelia kind of gets peeved with Diem being concerned about other descended and says there were casualties on both sides, but concedes nothing more about those who were injured. She does tell her of the plan for Arlie to stow away on the island and wait for the rite of coronation to take place and then attack. The only descended crown that was to be spared was the Lumnos king with the scar in the original plan. Diem is now frantic, trying to convince them to let her go to her mother, and Vance chimes in to tell her that Arlie is being held in the Fortos prison awaiting her execution. Wonderful. Let her take her secrets to the grave. Oh, I mean, stop at nothing to save her, right? Vance and Cordelia have a semi-solid plan to rescue Arlie. They'll trade Diem for her freedom. The crowns need all 9 in order to complete the forging magic. It could work, and Diem is in, surprising both the present Guardian leaders by her willingness to cooperate. She gives them the same spiel about the type of queen she will be and that she will be fighting for the rights of both mortals and descended, as they are both residents of her realm. Although this earns her an eye roll from Vance, Cordelia offers to get members of the Lumnos cell to bring Teller to her camp and keep him safe. Diem declines, knowing that her descended family will ensure his safety. Now she just has to hurry up and wait. Okay, discussion time. It's so obvious that Vance used Diem's weakness with Henry and exploited it. It just makes me so angry.
Well, he loved doing that, which, I mean, for him, it's to gain a way to kind of break up their relationship, but also to kind of just control every aspect of what he has with the Guardians right now, too.
I see. I don't think he wanted them to break up. I think ideally in his
Really?
mind, yeah, if they stayed together, then he holds all the cards. He knows that
Yeah.
Henry holds all the cards because he kind of had power over Diem in that way.
But I just don't think he could ever trust Diem. So I feel like even
No.
with like Diem kind of basically proposing and giving him the satisfaction of knowing he might earn the crown too, like it was kind of like a, well, we could use that, but like it wasn't, I feel like, his end game at the end of the day.
I don't know what his end game is. I think that the next book will have chapters that are advanced chapters because she said that we will learn more about his story. So that makes me think either like a flashback or maybe we get inside his mind. I don't know.
Maybe she uses the mind magic and reads Vance's thoughts. That would be kind of cool.
Does
if
she
we got-
have mind magic?
I mean, she should when she takes over for Umbros, right? I'm also curious how the Hortles.
The Hortles.
I'm also curious how the mortals have so much Godstone. I mean, it's continually mentioned through my chapters. Like, they are armed with a lot of it.
Maybe they didn't realize how much Godstone was on that island to begin with. Because, I mean, it says that they took it at the beginning of the whatever war.
Yeah,
So,
but supposedly it's like mostly been lost. And then a lot of the mortals around her in this camp have it. So I'm just wondering if there was a rumor started that most of the Godstone was lost, but it wasn't.
does it say lost? I thought it was they destroyed it and then the mortals took it.
Yeah, probably that.
Yeah.
I just probably used the wrong
No, you're
word.
I mean, it could have been there was lost, but that maybe that you're right. That was just the story that was told so that people didn't know that the mortals had it,
Which is kind of crazy.
that they have it.
Yeah.
I mean, they stole it from the one place where they are equal in a fight.
Yeah.
So that is the one place it's kept. So it seems like they may even have the upper hand on that island.
Well, I mean, yeah, they took the island too, so they have the upper hand right now. I will also say that this was a refreshing way to view Diem thinking about Luther. Like throughout the first chapter, but even continuing into the next one, she never questions his loyalty anymore.
Yeah.
She said she wasn't going to, but I don't know if I truly believed it because of our denial queen. But man,
She
it's
finally comes to terms with some things in this chapter.
oh yeah, it's just much easier for me to read and be like, yes, Diem, thank you.
Especially when she's noting the guardians, though, because I feel like that was a huge like wake up, girl. You can't just be helping them thinking you're gonna at the end of the day help everyone without confronting the fact that they will not stop at anything when it comes to their missions.
Yep.
A burning question I had for this chapter is I don't understand Arlie's motive to send Teller to the Descended school. Like, everything she does kind of checks out for someone that is anti-Descended.
Right.
I don't know if she, like, her end game was going to be like, I'll let him learn as much as possible and then we'll feed off that knowledge and he'll join the Guardians. But she was, like, so opposed to Diem even being a part of it. Yes, I know part of that reason was because she knows that she's half Descended. But I would feel like she'd be the same way with Teller. She's not even letting her own husband be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm confused on why she would do that.
Do you not think, though, that all of his notes on the Descended were kept in that house? He's not at that house all the time. Like, you don't think that maybe she's just using him and then reading his notes to learn more about the Descended hierarchies and all of that stuff?
That makes the
could.
most sense, but it still doesn't check out with her like protectiveness of Diem not even being near it. He's allowed to go to a Descended school. Once again, I know Diem's half Descended, so that's mainly why. But she still did view the Descended as very dangerous. So it just, I don't know.
It is weird. Arlie is weird.
She
I
makes
don't know.
some questionable parenting decisions.
Questionable is putting it lightly. Let's be real.
In a coming chapter, they talk about how this leader of this mortal camp talks about how she was kind of on the same camp as Diem, how Arlie wanted them to get along with the Descended. But later when you meet her, her prejudice towards the Descended does not seem like in any way was she ever going to do that.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know if something changed with the Arlie that Cordelia knew and the Arlie that Diem knew, but she even like tells Vance the best way to get a head to bleed.
Yeah.
Like she uses her healer knowledge for hurting people.
Yeah, if you can't be the leader of a rebel cell for 10
No.
years and not
I'm
hurt
just
people.
I'm just saying, like, she's not the everybody peace butterflies happiness best friends kind of leader.
No.
Cordelia
absolutely not.
on Coriel, or whatever you say it as. Like, that was so
I just
confusing.
want to say Cottonelle.
Cottonelle.
Like tissue paper. Did you guys have anything highlighted that we need to go over?
DM saying, in a world of black and white, I was trying to find my place in shades of gray.
That was so pretty. I loved that line. I also wanted to note that there were 40 of the mortals gathered around her, and then she noticed even more in the tree. Like, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a small camp.
Yeah.
It's
I have
large.
a hard time visualizing a lot of the scenes in these chapters, especially when we get to Sarai coming to rescue her, because I'm like,
I thought she can't.
she like
They're on
is
Arboros.
coming and they're like she's shooting fire, but it just feels like slow motion. Like, how long is it taking? She can see Dragon and Luther. She's spitting fire. Is she just like circling the tree line and then lands? I don't know. I was so lost, so I could only picture it in slow-mo.
It had to
Like that.
happen like that because I was just like, why didn't Sarai just come and pick Diem
Immediately
up, like, in
land.
her claws? Like, why wouldn't she just do that and then fly away? Like, none of this drama needs to happen. Also, it does say that when she looked and saw Luther, he was at least a mile away. It does say 1 mile. So Sarai's still coming. They can just hear her and see her. All right, are we ready for chapter 2?
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2. Diem is being led somewhere in shackles, trying to convince the guardian leading her that they are unnecessary. She spots explosives lining the forest and all around them. She's quickly distracted from that when she sees the Queen of Arboros chained to a tree. Diem questions why Vance and Cordelia needed her as a bargaining chip if they already have another crowned captive. But then it seems that the Guardians may dispose of the Arboros Queen, even though they were in her realm. When the Guardians start to lead Arboros away in her chains, Diem decides to fight. She's shackled to a tree, and the Guardians are content to let her struggle against them and wear herself out. Except that's not what's happening. The tree's being uprooted. The chains are snapping. Diem's feckin' strong. Arboros is standing there just as dumbfounded as the Guardians fighting to keep the tree in the ground. Unfortunately, our strong, confident, cognizant queen is clubbed in the head from behind and knocked unconscious.
Listen, somebody needs to check on this girl. She's been through some hell and back recently, and I'm worried for her.
Yeah, the amount of oxygen her brain's gaining is not a lot at this point. She's
got CTE.
Yeah.
She's been knocked unconscious in the last 5 chapters, more than anybody can count.
Yeah.
Arboros was the one
And
that
drugged.
Arboros was the one that was fighting with the person that's over animals. Right?
Yeah, Phanos and
Phanos.
Arboros. Phanos doesn't allow mortals, but Arboros does.
Yeah, and she's like in charge of plants.
Mhm.
And planting.
But she's chained to a tree in her own realm. Supposedly been drugged with flame root, maybe. But
Not maybe. I'm sure she did. I also was
I don't
just
know.
thinking about how in Fourth Wing everyone gets pissed that people are named off after places, and in this book, literally, that's not her real name. You could say Arboros though, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say Queen. I'm like, oh, that's Arboros. Like we
Yeah.
know.
I
who
just
she
wanted
is.
to make the distinction because they are on Arboros as well right now.
Yeah,
So.
But I was just saying, I
yes.
was like, never once in this book have I gotten frustrated with that. But in Fourth Wing, everyone's like, how can people be named after places?
I think it's sketch-magetch that Arboros is captive and Diem's captive, and they're not going to use the Arboros queen to barter for land. I mean, technically, she still has the crown over her head, and she's under their rule, so they could control the whole of Arboros right now, like the whole realm.
How?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I just mean, if she's drugged
Mm-hmm.
and she still has the crown, they can use her to control the realm.
She'd still have to do it though. I don't know if
I don't think she can.
I
use
mean,
her
I know
power
she
for it,
can't
then.
use her magic.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
like torture her to make decisions.
or yeah, just have her make decisions.
To me, it seems like they used her for all they could. They have a pretty sick setup, and so they're like, "We'll do away with her," because they see They aren't smart, and that they only see descended as like we can just waste them. Like
Yeah. I just,
they want to kill Diem, and Diem is the most powerful, and it's mortals witnessed that too. Mortals were in that stadium. Can't tell me some Guardians weren't there. Guardians were definitely there as well. So I mean, but their anger towards them, they just want to immediately kill her. They're not strategizing.
I'm working with knowledge that I remember from the first reread too, because Arbros doesn't die.
Right.
They planned all of this and they set it up so that DMCs are being led away and thinks she died because she's working with the Guardians.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, in Diem's mind, she is thinking the Guardians aren't that smart. They just want to kill me. They don't know how to use Descended.
Yeah, she's underestimating the Guardians for
Yeah.
sure, which is what she's done from the get-go. And it's not ever worked out for her.
I don't
She has-
remember Arboros's motive, though, to help the Guardians so much.
I don't either.
I don't remember either. I just think that she's like a good person.
But doesn't she betray Diem later?
Yeah, because Diem doesn't want to work with the Guardians and Arbros does.
I know, but doesn't Arboros do something to betray Diem?
Yes,
What?
Maros and Arbros and somebody else all turn on Diem so that they don't get caught working with the Guardians.
But what does she do?
They
Is that when
they
the
turn her
temple-
in. Yeah, they're like Sophos and all of them like are mad and they're like somebody's giving them information, somebody's helping them, and Maros, maybe it's Sophos and Maros that are like it's Diem when they told her they weren't going to do that.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying. It's
And
been so long
Arbros
since
is
we read it.
part
I
of
don't remember.
Arbros is part of that too.
I need to reread it.
I feel like the Arbros queen is hiding stuff, and I mean I know she is. It's just
They all are.
yeah.
Let's be real.
There's so much at play and working behind the scenes that Diem doesn't see and
Mhm.
thinks she knows how everything's going on. She still doesn't know. It's just sad. Okay.
She didn't even know that her mom was the leader. And I was like, man, I know that the signs weren't all there, but they were so close when Teller was like kind of, not Teller, when Henry was explaining all of that of like
Yeah, the
how she'll be
leader's
back.
female.
Yeah. She reminds me of you. I'm like,
That still, though, don't forgive Henry for not telling her.
No, I won't either.
listen.
One of the Guardians says, "You're all selfish at heart. It's in your blood. No upbringing's gonna change it." He's angry.
Yeah.
He's a South
angry.
Pole elf.
Well, she does kind of almost flip him too.
Yeah,
He
but
lo-
then immediately flips him back.
Yeah. Chapter 3. Diem finds herself chained more tightly and to an even bigger tree. Breck shows up with some food, drink, and conversation. He jokes that he should have sliced her with that four-toes in blade when they first met after all, and she defends herself, saying she really didn't know. He says Henry told him that she didn't know just before the attack. The attack. The attack that was supposed to blow up the temple that Diem was standing in. The attack that Henry knew was taking place. The attack that Henry knew Diem was going to be standing in the middle of. The attack that Henry knew was Arlie's plan that could possibly kill her daughter. Okay, just to get all that straight. Now, she bluntly asks Breck if Henry knew, and he confirms he in fact did. Finally, Diem acknowledges that Henry chose the Guardians over her. Thank God, Diem. Your eyes have been opened. Breck spouts something off about how secrets protect the Guardians' families, and Diem slams that right down, telling him of the Descendants' plan for retaliation after the armory incident. He still tries to stick up for good old Henry boy, using Arlie and Andre's relationship to fall back on. But Diem absolutely shuts that one down when she says her father is dead. And because her mother was out here on this guardian mission, she wasn't there to grieve him or comfort her children. She transitions the conversation smoothly after that, though, to ask Breck what his role is for the Guardians. He supplies that he would smuggle them weapons using his job in Fortos to gain access to where the shipments were being taken. Breck tells her how the plan for taking over Kuriel went down, and that their current goal is to hold the island long enough for the forging day to pass without the crowns being able to perform their ritual. Diem, it seems, has finally learned her lesson about telling the Guardians information and keeps the secret of the Hearthstone to herself, even knowing it will be a turning tide in the war to come. She also doesn't reveal that it's her blood that caused the crack in the Hearthstone, not anything the Guardians did. Van's previously taking all the credit for saving Diem is put to rest when Breck tells her Arlie is the one that ran in and drug her out, handing her off to him personally, and he got her to Vance, who then transported her to Arboros. When Breck goes to leave, Diem asks one final question. Did the Guardians kill the Arboros Queen? He just says, forget you saw her here. Forget everything you saw here. Once he's gone, Diem picks up the food and drink he's left, not remembering when she's last eaten, only to realize it's been drugged with flame root. She decides to test out her descended healing abilities and see if she can out-heal starvation and dehydration. Okay, first thing I just got to point out is that it took away from her pointing out Henry chose the Guardians when she accepts some of the fault by saying she chose Luther over Henry. To me, she's like, Henry chose the Guardians over me, but I chose Luther over Henry. I'm like, girl, you did not.
Yeah.
You were practically a door slammed in your face and you moved on. Like, it's not like...
It was a hard realization for her to, like, finally come to. Like what we were talking last episode, just kind of like the...
I just don't know how you can be a fan of Henry. I don't know. I seriously don't get it. Like how Penn Cole says she's Henry's #1 fan, whether that's to stir the pot or not. Like, truly, if you're Henry's #1 fan, I want you to write me an essay why. Like, give me reasons why you like him.
I think maybe Penn Cole's comes from the previous way she had written Henry, because she did say she rewrote his character because people liked him too much.
Yeah, and she went the opposite direction, and now people hate him too much.
I think she maybe still holds that first Henry character in her mind when I cannot, because I did not read.
But there
about
are
that.
like stickers and things that you can purchase on Etsy on her site where it's literally Henry's #1 fan. I don't know if it's like in Avengers, who's the guy that tries to kill half the population of everyone. Yeah, there's like stickers that says Thanos was right.
Yeah.
That just is like just to piss people off. So is that what people are doing? Are there humans out there that are Henry's #1 fan? I don't get it. I truly don't get it.
There are also people that are huge Tamlin fans. That they love Tamlin actually more than Rhys.
Yeah, there's also a lot of Rhys haters out there. So
there are. And I feel like it's just another way to show like the human nature of people, like the reality of certain situations, that like not everybody sees the same red flags. Not everybody feels that those red flags are valid in the same way to each individual.
This man sent his fiance on an island, knew her mom was alive when she was mourning the mom, and sent her to die, and did not care more than for her than for his what he sees as his cause.
Sent her to die at the hands of her mother.
That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because she didn't even know she was there yet.
She didn't even know she was queen.
No.
If you've read the whole Kindred's Curse saga, I would love to know. And if you love Henry, even like him, you know what? I'll dumb it down a little bit. If you care for that man in any regard, I would like to know why.
You just have to keep in mind that people have preferences that are different, because there are people that like the villain. Anytime there is a villain, there's going to be people that prefer their ideologies.
I'm not questioning like the fact that of difference of opinions or being for the villain. Like there's a girl I met that had a sleeve of only Disney villains. I'm not questioning that. I am just saying, why do you like him? Just give me the reasons.
You're not questioning it. You just need to know the thought process behind it.
Exactly.
Okay. I can't give it to you because I
don't
like
share
him.
it.
I could try and talk about it, but I'm probably just going to get angry.
I also hate Breck almost as much as Henry in this scene.
You know, the first time we read this series, I still, by the end, until the very end of the book, when we get more with, like, her father, I was expecting him to be the dad. Like, the whole time, like, playing in, like, you know how, like, in certain, like, godlike characters, they, like, portray as a human or, like, a mortal. And so, like, the whole time, he's from Fortos, or he works in Fortos or whatever. And so, like, the backstory of how Arlie was in Fortos, I think, when she met on Andre or whatever. That whole backstory of her like just being there, I was like, is he really the dad? And like his chains basically don't let him be God anymore, so he's immortal at this point. And it never
Dang.
revealed. And I was just like, wow, that was such a theory I went off of the first time.
That would have been so cool, though, if that would have been, that would have taken me for a ride, because I did not suspect it.
I think he's gonna be the guy that is trying to be good, but she's either gonna have to end up killing him or he's going to die, because it's later on in the chapters, but he's like, I want to go off to see where this man that's leading mortal armies is, what he's up to, and we all know that's not good.
Yep.
So I think she's either gonna have to kill him at some point, or he's gonna die because he thinks he's fighting for the good. Either way, I don't like him, so I'm not gonna shed a tear over it. But
I like him more than Vance.
I think he might be like a more likable Vance, but I think he might be just as bad as Vance. Just the way he jokes around with her, and like the joking about her and Henry. I don't know. It just rubbed me there. It gave me the ick. I didn't
This
like
book,
it.
I feel like he took a big jump though in character, like personality and how he shows himself a little bit more.
He's in like a full couple scenes. So it's just I don't know. The way he was talking about her and Henry, I know he like frees her later on, but
he was trying to lighten the mood. He was trying to gauge how she felt about Henry, and he was still trying to be a good friend to Henry. Like, whether that is the play or not, he was trying.
Well, either way, it gave me the ick.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't great.
Would you guys have eaten the drugged food and water?
Yeah, I don't do good when I'm hungry. I would be like, I have to find a different plan, because using my powers is not plan A. It has to be plan like F. So plan A is like, I'm going to eat this food because I hate being hungry, and then use my mortal knowledge to get out of here.
I wouldn't have.
I think it depends for me, like the state of mind. So like if I'm trying to, because I could go two of ways. I could either refuse the food and that be my like ending, or I could also basically go out with a fight. And
I gotta say, I'm probably way too strong-headed to like. I know that this has it in it.
Yeah,
and I'm just not gonna willingly do it because an idiot.
But if you get to the point of actual starvation, which is where she pushes herself, it's hard to say that I wouldn't eat. And it is stew, and she talks about how good it looks and smells.
I'm telling you, I'm dumb. I'm not saying that it's the smart choice. I'm saying it's what I would do.
I'm not saying that it's smart nor bad. I'm saying that if you're actually at the point of starvation, you may not have mental control over whether you're going to eat that stew or not.
If I was DM in this exact situation, I would know that no matter what time frame of how long I was refusing it, eventually they would force it into me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's what is holding her power, and they are terrified of that.
I'm just thinking about when you like watch like survival shows and people eat and drink things, and you're like, that's disgusting. I could never do that. But then if you were actually in that situation and you needed that to survive, you could do some pretty crazy things.
Oh,
like when people crash their planes and then they eat each other.
Yeah.
You do some crazy things.
You
when
do some
survival
crazy
mode.
things. My thought process would be, I'm going to gain my powers back, and I'm going to like level this place to where it's incapacitated and I leave. That would be what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Do you think at any point you'd second guess your decision when you realized sitting up made you so lightheaded you might pass out?
Oh, yeah.
Because the whole time when she's like, man, I can barely move without even like feeling lightheaded, I'm like, maybe rethink your plan.
Yeah, you need to have a different one.
I also wanted to say that I feel like the Fortos King seems kind of dense. He's got defectors that originated in his land all over. Like Arlie from Fortos, spy, leader of the fucking Guardians. Breck, supplying the Guardians with Fortos end blades all the time, everywhere. The #1 smith for Fortos King. Like, is he just an idiot, or are they really good at hiding it? Because Luther knows everything about the Guardians pretty much. And
he's either aloof or he like is actively enacting it. Yeah, like he
To me, I think he's like, based off of us meeting him, he's like, if they can defect as much as they want, they're still not going to be powerful enough to defeat me.
He still wanted to know where Breck was. Like, he didn't give away that he knew what was going on. I don't know. I just feel like maybe he's dumb.
Oh, he is a killing machine. No one said he was smart.
That's what I'm saying. Is he just like the jockhead that's just an idiot?
You know, we'll never know because we don't get to ask him.
Mm,
He dies before those questions can be answered.
it's true.
In a cell.
Where he
In his own
belongs.
fort.
Sounds kind of dumb.
Kind of sounds dumb. Doesn't his head explode or something?
Diem like pops his little noggin, I think.
Yeah.
And the crown just right to her. Chapter 4. Diem continues to bury her food and water after dark rather than drug herself. She was just starting to be able to feel something other than the numbness caused by the flame root when Vance shows up with his gang of merry men and Godstone. Unchaining Diem and dragging her off to relieve herself in private, she stops cooperating and dares him to do whatever it is he's planning out in the open. Vance, the slimy shit that he is, not one to back down, cuts her with a 4-toes in blade and has a jumpy new recruit start collecting her blood in vials, seemingly planning to use it to enter the door in the canals since the garden entrance has been closed off. The voice has become a small presence in her again, quietly commanding her to fight. And while she does not want to reveal her magic yet, she will fight the Bellator way. The commotion gains Cordelia's attention, who scolds Vance and demands he return Diem back to the tree. But just as she's about to see to it that he obeys, her camp is alive with chaos at the alarm of an attack. And then Diem hears the steady thump, thump, thump of the loveliest sounding wings. Gryvern on the horizon. Saray is coming. I said it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I wanted to point out that 10 of those guardians that Vance brings have Godstone.
Yup.
Like, I just think it's kind of crazy that there's so much of it.
Well, I guess I'm just, I didn't question it because it says they stole some. And it never says what amount was even on the
No.
island or how much they stole. So since we were never, it wasn't like they stole the ittiest bitty portion or they stole 5 weapons total. I was just kind of like, okay, well, maybe this is how they dispersed them. This is how they've kept them.
Yeah. I just wasn't expecting there to be so much. I guess in the reread, I was.
We also
thinking
weren't
it was-
expecting to them be hiding it on the trees. As many people as were surrounding this place.
It's true.
There's a lot of mortals. There's a lot
A
of mortals
lot
out there.
Yeah, well, especially that are part of this rebellion group. So it has grown since the last war.
If you have a conscience and you are mortal and you're tired of living the way you want to live, and this is your only outlet to change it, I could see how the numbers are growing.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm just now thinking of all the books and movies I've ever read or watched, and people are fans of the enemy.
You can't get over it.
I can't. I'm thinking of like, there's a lot of people that watch Harry Potter and they're really big Bellatrix fans. Bellatrix Lestrange. And yeah, I get it. It's a cool villain name. She was mean. She's bad.
So you're
Yeah.
not a Hermione fan?
I haven't ever read it, but like when I read the books, I wasn't like hoping that Draco and Hermione hooked up. That wasn't.
No, maybe not the first time, but like, would you be into it?
I would read it. I would read just about anything, but I don't think it will change my mind. I don't think I'll read it and be like, wow, this is how the book should have been written. But
Well-
I'm also someone that is completely okay that she ended up with Ron. It would have been so foreseeable if she would have ended up with Harry. It would have been every other story ever. So the fact that she ended up with someone different. Plus, I really like Ginny and Harry together. I wish Ginny was more in the books and in the movies.
Yeah, I think the first time I finally read it, I told you that because the whole time I
Yeah.
was like, why is Hermione and
I'm Ginny's number one
Harry
fan.
not together?
Like that's who I would want to be in the books. And
But
then
I
would
do
be
love
more
Jenny in the
active.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since I haven't read Harry Potter, can't talk either. I just won't.
We'll just think of any movie with a bad guy.
No, I understand
cult
what.
following.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I don't get it either. I'm like pure good in the heart, I guess. I can sympathize. I can sympathize with how they got to the situation that they're in. And if I was in their position, I'm not saying I wouldn't be fighting on that side because my perspective would be different. But if I'm watching it as the hero point of view, I'm going to take the hero side every time.
Yeah. And I can appreciate, like, there are people that play really good villains and people that play really bad villains too. Like, you can appreciate a good, well-played villain, like the Joker. Like, you could say, like, yeah, that's a story that I can follow and understand.
Well, but also, I feel like the bad guy has to have a reason for what he's doing, or I don't like him. Like, if there's justice in what he's doing, then I'm going to be like, yeah, do it. I was going to say the only villain that I like is actually from One Punch, Garu. I love him. He's my favorite character in that whole anime. I don't even like the anime. I only like Garu because there's no character development anywhere except for him.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen it.
He's the villain and he's my favorite.
I know there are villains out there that I like.
Oh, and My Hero Academia, I like the villain side too because they just have a different perspective.
Yeah.
The only one that's actually bad is the one that leads them. all of his underlings I like.
See, in Demon Slayer, I don't like the main one.
Yeah.
But I like all the other demons of his
See?
children or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that the
Yes.
demon that, like, he has, like, a family too? And
Yeah.
it's, like, running away
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Back to the book?
Back to the book, I suppose. I know I already said it, but Vance saying Arlie told me once that head wounds bleed the most. I'm just like so angry at the fact that Diem was berating herself so much when she first joined the Guardians and everything. And now to learn that her mother's been leading them with her knowledge the whole time, I just feel so bad for Diem.
Was it any head wounds bleed the most, or was it descended specifically?
It's just head wounds.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it is true. One time Cole raised up, he was like crawling in a van and he raised up under the seats and it sliced his head. And it was like a very small nick, but it bled so much. It was crazy.
Yeah. One time my sister threw a high heel shoe at me and it hit my lip and I was like gushing blood. She's like, don't tell Mom. And we were in the car. I was like, how am I not going to tell her? I don't need to say anything, but I think like a pool of blood in the back seat might be a dead giveaway.
Mom might notice. Oh, her blood. She makes a comment about like how her blood was the one that destroyed the Hearthstone. And then she's like, what else could my blood destroy?
Piecing those connecting dots together in the situation she's in will get her out of it.
Chapter 5. Sarai is here. But something doesn't feel right. Why are the mortals not panicking? Why is everyone calm and moving around as though they have a plan? Vance finishes filling the last vial after cutting a wound very close to vital organs on Diem, and she's able to move to look towards the approaching Gryvern. And what she sees on Sarai's back makes her deliriously happy, even though she's already delirious at this point. Blood loss added into dehydration and starvation. Not good. It's Luther! Our man is decked out in armor and ready to fight for his queen. Yes. Then Diem hears why no one is panicking about the Gryvern attack. Ready the ballistics is yelled, and she pales. She looks towards those readying the weapon, and it's a massive crossbow loaded with a godstone tip bolt. And the mortals know where they need to hit Sarai to kill her. They're going for the perfect shot, right through the heart. Diem tells Cordelia she'll call off Sarai, but that's not good enough. She'll be loyal to any crown after Diem, and she needs to die. Sarai takes the liberty of roasting a few mortals with her Gryvern fire, and Diem is the one left panicking. This isn't what she wants. She doesn't want more death. Alas, that is exactly what a pissed-off Gryvern wants. And she's headed straight for Diem, who convinces her captors to flee, lest they want to end up human barbecue. Everyone heeds her advice except Vance, who tells her that this was the plan. They wanted to lure the Gryvern there, and they were prepared to die for their cause. Sarai blasts Diem and the surrounding area with her flames, but Diem is unharmed. Vance, however, is not so lucky. He's writhing in pain from being caught in the flames. Diem's restraints, metal shackles, and tree alike are also victim to the flames. Sarai lands, Luther dismounts, and a naked Diem starts trying to reach her knight in shining Vorto's armor. She can't feel him, though. Why can't she feel his aura? Archers are bombarding him with Vorto's in and Godstone arrows alike, and while his shield is holding for now, he's unable to advance towards Diem. Then the worst thing happens, and all the mortals fire the Godstone spear aimed right for Sarai's heart. Diem instinctively turns to the thought that vanished the wolf when she was mortal, and Ghislaine, I said it for you, Ems.
Thank you. I like it.
Okay, and with silvery light, the ballista is nothing more than ash in the wind. But in fact, so is our cognizant queen. Turns out no food and water for days on end, and torturing at the hands of Vance, plus lingering effects of flame root, make for an exhausted Diem. She realizes she can't feel Luther because they're in Arbros. His magic is bound. When she hears Cordelia command the second bolt be loaded, she can't bear the thought of losing either of them, and she's powerless again. With a mouthed "I'm sorry" to Luther and recognition flaring on his face, she orders Sarai to take him and flee. The second ballista is launched, and Diem can't hold on any longer. She passes out before she sees them make an escape. The only thing I said with this is just I hate war. The fact that Diem doesn't want any of this, but it's what's happening around her, and she literally can't stop it. She has to participate for it to end.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to. And it's just sad. It's just very, very sad.
The harsh realities of it.
And the fact that war it exists in reality, and that there are ways not to do it. And we just continue as humanity to choose war because it's easier.
Yeah.
It's hard to also imagine hating an entire people.
Yeah.
Just to have that prejudice, whether good or bad, but to label an entire group of people as bad or good is just wild to me.
It is so two-party wild, I can't even begin to explain.
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process behind it.
No, me neither.
I cannot. It's like you with Henry. There's nothing I can do to justify either side, only descended or only mortal.
Yeah.
Like there are bad in both and there are good in both.
Yeah.
And there's no way to look at that in any other fashion. It's just, those are the facts. There's good and there's bad in both.
Yeah. It's just, I guess we're fortunate too to not have to view a people in such a harsh reality. But even then, it's hard to put myself in the shoes of someone that's so oppressed that you still just label an entire group of people.
Well, yeah. I am definitely privileged enough not to be in that situation.
Well, you were just saying how she doesn't waver with Luther now.
Yeah.
And she does say, I had little faith in gods or men, but I believed in the fearsome dedication of Luther Quobois with every fiber of my being. Don't we all, girl? Don't we all?
Took you long enough.
Let's go, though. Makes me so happy.
I also feel like Vance either really wants to kill or really wants to die or really wants other people to die, because several times in these 7 chapters, he's just like, one of these days, you'll finally accept that unlike your coward descended, the Guardians are not afraid to die for our cause. And he says probably a total of 5 times he's like, I'm not afraid to die. You shouldn't be afraid to die. The Guardians aren't afraid to die. The Descended shouldn't be afraid to die. I'm like...
It's because Diem keeps making these points like, I'm the reason that the mortals survived. And he's like, we don't need to survive. We're ready to die so that other mortals can survive. We're tired of this way of life, and it's okay if we die so that other mortals have a better life. That's his... She keeps making the counterpoint, so he just is continuing to try and drive it into her head, and she's not getting it.
Seems like he has a death wish.
Well, yeah. That's part of his job as a rebel. Chapter 6. Again, she wakes up drowning. Fucking flame root. But Diem is so dehydrated she has to drink it, and does so with Cordelia's supervision. Her captor discovers her piles of food in the ground and knows since she was able to use magic, she's not been properly dosed. That's the first thing that needs rectifying. Diem asks Cordelia if Luther and Sarai are alive, but the woman only answers with 8 mortals died and many more are injured with burns. Diem rightfully says that the blood is on Cordelia's hands since it was the Guardian's plan to put them in the sights of Sarai. But she does tell the mortals how to treat the burn wounds and offers to treat them herself. Cordelia tells them to go search for the remedy Diem has suggested, but will burn herself and test it first. Diem takes in her surroundings, realizing that the plan must have shifted since she's not being held in the open anymore. She's in a denser part of the forest and camp, and upon questioning Diem about the man that came to save her, Luther, Cordelia is informed that he'll likely stop at nothing to reach her, and wisely decides to move camp. Cordelia and Diem continue to talk, and Diem recounts her side of every involvement she's had with the Lumnos cell and Father Vance. Cordelia asks an insightful question. Does Diem still consider herself a guardian? And while Diem expresses she will fight for the mortals, she also says she doesn't believe innocent descended should have to be collateral damage. She does concede that people in places of power had the opportunity to do more to help and did not. Cordelia says she's seen potential for peace between the descended and mortals because they do receive help from those in power. When Diem jokingly teases her, higher than a queen, Cordelia doesn't answer. Weird. Diem pleads with her to be released back to Lumnos, but Cordelia maintains that they need her as a bargaining chip for her mother's release from Fortos. However, she does make a point that she's not Vance, and she doesn't like that he has a way into the palace. But for now, he's still recovering from his run-in with the Everflames and won't be doing any gardening for now. But Cordelia's hard exterior towards Diem is cracking, and she says she'll consider letting Diem return to Lumnos. I know we've all had a meal that's shit but tastes like the best food you've ever had because of how hungry you are. And Diem's is like stale bread and dried beef jerky. Sounds disgusting.
Doesn't
but
sound
she's
great.
Like tearing into it.
I'd be asking for more of that stew. I will take the stew now, actually. Thank you.
Actually, could I get a little bit more of that? But the cook doesn't seem to be very impressed with Diem, although Diem does like the cook.
Yeah. She flips her off as she exits the tent.
Yeah. Cordelia is like, I don't think the feeling's mutual there, honey.
Yeah. I like your next point. Fuck you, Vance.
Yeah. Because fuck you, Vance.
Yeah, because exactly that. Like, there's nothing else to say but that.
He's just an asshole, man.
We're just going to get a sob story of why he's so angry. I'm sure, like, he had 5 children and a wife, and they all died at the hands of Descended, and I just feel like we're going to get that.
I mean, probably. It wouldn't be unheard of.
No, it would explain his anger.
Mm-hmm.
But also, why would you want to take that away from other people when you know how much it hurts to suffer like that?
That's what people want, though. People don't want to suffer alone. They want people to suffer with them. That explains, like, basically every evil ever.
It's just misery loves company, and I get it. I do get it, sort of, because I don't. Because personally, that's just not how I am. It's hard, man. That's hard.
I'm trying to think of a time that maybe I have been in those shoes where maybe someone did something bad to me, and I was like, now I want people to experience this, but
I mean, it happens with siblings all the time. Like,
yeah.
your sibling hit you with she threw the heel in your face. Did you want to punch her in the face?
Not really.
Really? Because
I don't know. I'm the baby. I just didn't.
Damn. Anytime I got hurt with a sibling, I just have one, Cole. But anytime he hurt me, immediately hurt him back. Immediately. And worse.
You have to, well, I guess Sarah's a different scenario, but you have to remember that Garrett's 5 years older than me and Kelsey is 7. There wasn't much that I could do to hurt them. The meanest thing I ever did was, I think it was my 12th birthday. I got a telescope and I was super excited to use it. And then for some reason, Sarah got to use it first and I threw a big fit. And I still think about that sometimes.
Oh my God.
Because my mom was like, you're being a brat.
I stabbed Cole in the eye with a toy. Like, because he was winning a game, I stabbed him in the eye.
I guess
like,
Oh my God.
like
we were pretty vicious.
We were playing pickup sticks, and I was like, "You're cheating," and he was like, "I'm not," and I was like, "Pop."
You stabbed him with the pickup sticks?
Yeah, right in the eye. He had a blood blister in his eye or whatever you call that.
Garrett and Kelsey used to hold me down and tickle me and spit on me.
I'm telling you, violence begets violence for me.
That's I see that now.
Maybe I'm just not a very violent person unless it's in sports.
What about the soccer? I was going to say,
Yeah,
what
say
about the soccer field?
sports? It would be the only scenario because I'm very competitive.
But what if you watched one of your teammates get tackled? Would you go tackle the girl?
I wouldn't let that happen. I would already be tackling them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing. I literally offered
Yeah.
it before you said anything.
Yeah.
Is that in sports would be the only scenario.
Because, I mean, I had friends that were forwards and I was a defender. And if one of the other defenders took them out, like I was sprinting to that other end of the field.
I don't know if I cared for forwards as much as my goalkeeper. Like if anyone hurt a goalkeeper, it was game over.
Yeah. That's
forwards, I'm like, you're probably on the way.
Well, the forwards were my friends. If it was
trying
just
to say the
team,
forwards weren't my friends.
yes. I was just saying close friends.
Yeah.
Because if it was a team where I didn't really know the forward, I wouldn't do the same thing. Goalkeeper, number one, for sure. Cordelia is starting to like our FMC. Are you guys liking Cordelia, or do you feel like she's a slimy snake?
I don't know if I feel like she's a slimy snake. I don't trust her.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there's
DM
just
is
a lot.
starting to.
But I do feel like they realize that they are both in the dark and that they both have so much withheld of information that could potentially show how much they're both fighting for technically the same things, but not technically. You know what I mean? Like it's a very hard.
Do we see her
Line
later
there.
on in the book? I can't remember.
Cordelia?
Yeah, where?
Mhm. Her and Arlie have a little run-in at the camp. But it's very fuzzy, so I can't give you any more.
Yeah, this book's more fuzzy than all the other books.
Yeah, I read through this one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be learning things that I had already learned before.
Chapter 7, we're on the move, and DM is trying like hell to interact with the guards on rotation transporting her, but they're refusing to acknowledge her. She's found out if she fakes sleep, though, they will relax and talk as if she's not there. They're discussing plans for how things are playing out with the island of Kuril, and while it's surrounded by troops, none of them have attacked yet. They question if they'll get help from Maros, but apparently they're busy creating a diversion by blowing up docks there. That sounds like a lot. The biggest news is that a descended showed up in Montios, claiming to hate his own kind and pledged allegiance to the mortals, and has apparently done something to prove his worth and trustworthiness. But DM doesn't get any more information because Breck shows up with a fresh puppy of a guardian in tow. He claims he's here to take over their watch on Mother Cordelia's orders. The two guards are skeptical at first, but at the mention of wine, they leave their post and DM is left alone with Breck and the pup. Then Breck surprises the hell out of her by knocking out his fellow guardian and leading her through the camp to the shores of the sacred sea, where a cloaked figure is waiting. It's Cordelia! What? With drinking an entire flask of flame root tainted water, DM is sent on her way to Lumnos with Cordelia's trust and the favor she owes Breck as her only companions.
I love how obviously we're ending on chapter 7, but that trust is broken immediately the next chapter.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
It's true. I don't remember what.
They have to kill some mortals to escape because Alix, Luther, and Taryn show up.
Yeah.
And so on their escape, they have to kill some people. And she like makes eye contact and she's like, sorry.
I mean,
but
it's gonna happen.
But in Cottonelle's point of view, she's like, that's you choosing the descendant over mortals.
Sorta. I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I said, yeah, I knew I liked Cordelia. I just hope it isn't some backwards plan that's going to come bite DM in the ass later. I think it might be.
The only thing I thought I remember liking about that scene was the fact that like I was hoping Cordelia finally realized that Vance was taking it too far.
Oh, I think she knows that.
She hates
So,
Vance.
like,
She doesn't like Vance.
And I think that was like the one moment I had of like, okay, we are finally getting somewhere here within the Guardians. Like, you know how like sometimes you have to watch them kind of blow up and unfold on themselves in a way. Like I felt like we were starting to see that within what we had here with Vance.
I was going to say that I thought it was weird that there's a guardian cell so close to Montios where mortals are like not allowed.
Maybe that's the best place to hide, though.
Like in plain sight where
Yeah.
they're not allowed.
I mean, even Diem's been across the border at Montios. Maybe they're so reclusive there that they don't have very much patrol out.
Why can't I remember the Montios king or queen? It's a
He's
queen.
the old.
Oh, he's the guy?
Yeah, it's the old man who doesn't speak but did speak to Diem.
And that's the one where she goes to, and they're like, we thought you already knew that you were the queen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Breck is up there with Taryn in interruptions now because I want to know more about the descendant who hates his own kind. Is it like the guy from the Vision or like what?
There's so
That's
much
her
I feel like we
daddy.
need to know.
That's her papa.
Yeah.
I thought that in the same chapter of 7 is when she like gets on the boat, but then the boat flips or something, or like goes back to shore.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to read that again to be like, what is bringing her back? Why did that fail so
Yeah.
miraculously?
That's in the next chapter. This one I did want to bring up, and I didn't put it in my recap, but I wanted to talk about how Henry is so absent here.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What do you
she
mean?
she finds out that he was on the island and that he didn't try and save her, that he didn't say anything, he didn't stick around, he didn't come to the camp with her. And then she's like, when Breck breaks her out, she's like, oh, it's Henry helping me. It's Henry. And he's like, no.
You know why he doesn't care anymore?
Why?
Lana!
Yes, I knew it. I knew you were going to do that. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Like, she's still giving Henry chances, and that just pisses me off. But also the fact that it's not Henry. He's not breaking her out. He's not even, like, twisting things around where it looks like he's breaking her out.
It's never been Henry.
It's never going to be Henry.
Henry's done. Henry's gone. Henry and Lana, I hope they have a happy life together.
Submissive
kinda.
little wife.
I have one quick theory.
Let's hear it.
And I was thinking about it as I was rereading these like first 7 chapters of this book. We know how this book ends. That Diem is stabbed in the heart by whatever.
Igneos.
Yes. And we know that her dad was also stabbed in the heart and somehow survived, right? And I'm
Yes.
thinking, is it the island is the reason why they survived? Because that's like they're a part of the Everflame tree. And since that is where it grew and that's where it was cut down, something on that island is what keeps them alive.
Well, also, they don't have the same reaction to Godstone.
True.
So he was stabbed with a Godstone blade, and that's why Arlie thought he was dead, but then he's not. So
And she like still goes to check to see if his body is still there.
yeah.
She's like, okay, his body's still there.
Well, does she see it though?
She sees like
Blood,
blood
right?
or something like that.
Like dry. I don't know if she just knows that the altercation happened. I don't know if she technically puts eyes on a body. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something, they're not descended.
No.
There's something different about them, and it's not going to be the same way to kill them.
They're either aliens or father. Aliens or father. Which camp are you?
I'm in the camp of aliens.
I really feel like.
Ooh.
No, please continue.
Let's hear.
What if the kindred are aliens and they hid the fact that the 9th one wasn't really a kindred, that he was the tree. He was like the mortal type of supernatural. And that's why their magic is so different, and that's why nothing affects them the same.
Wait, he hid from his kids or his siblings? Or wait, say that again?
Yeah, well,
Like,
so
not
there's
that he
supposed
was
to be
really
like
part of that,
there's
right?
supposed to be 9 original or 10, right? 10 original kindred, and then the forgotten one. What if he wasn't actually kindred that came? He was just the like Everflame tree, and he was there for the mortals, like the old gods.
That's option 1 and 2.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then that one.
Yeah, because that's why I
How-
was saying alien or original.
Original.
Yeah.
I thought you said alien or father. And
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not of
father.
the father camp. I'm of the original camp.
Well, yeah, father is kind of intertwined with the original, though. because either way, he would be somehow a part of the Everflame tree.
No, I still think it's the like Titans versus Zeus and everybody
Yeah.
else. But wouldn't the island okay, even if he is part of the Everflame tree, wouldn't the surrounding land that let's say the tree holds so much power, it gives to the land, kind of things like we've seen in other stories, wouldn't we see desecration or wouldn't we see some type of like draining of that power if he is being kind of withheld?
I think as long as he's alive.
I think,
okay.
yeah,
And they're
they
imbuing the stone.
Yeah.
they bound him, and then they're giving their blood to the stone to replenish the
That's true.
whatever.
Okay. That's why they always get together every year.
Yeah, the forging magic has to be fed.
Forged. Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be going over chapters 8 through 14 of Heat. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts for a new episode of
Book Thots.